guys, I am going to be showing you what went into making Death Note Revenge. Flashback 2 years ago when I made Death Note. That was an original short film me and my friend Christian came up with. This was an idea, a simple slasher in the woods. A killer's on the loose, he's trying to kill this innocent person on their daily jog, and then he disappears, and then like a year later he goes to the factory, stalks this other guy, and then a thief comes along and then robs this innocent guy, the same person which is me from the first one. Robs him, he gets away with it, and then I turn evil. I then hurt the thief, which is played by Xander Wright, also Sir Horn on YouTube, and then I strangle him, and then I get away with it. And then fast forward a year later, I'm now leaving the factory after strangling Xander. He's now left on the ground at the factory. He then wakes up, realises that he's in agony, he needs help, and then the rest, you probably already have seen what happens in Death Note Revenge. The trilogy, this is the third film me and my friend Christian have made, and Xander. Shout out Max as well, he plays the officer in this film. So yeah, this is basically the timeline for the video. I had an idea of putting about 1 year ago, because I wanted to it has been a long time since the last one came out, which is Death Wish. So, this was basically a sequence of a deadline. I was originally going to get it out for January, probably end of January, but we just couldn't get it done because of work and college and stuff. And then got me walking away. I remember filming this scene, multiple shots. It's not just one long shot, because it probably wouldn't have been that interesting if it was literally just me. And then we see Xander waking up. So these two scenes here of me dead on the ground outside the factory, wanted to make it out free, alive. We then cut to a shot of Xander waking up, so it's and I didn't realise this till I was editing it. So we then have a synchronization of two separate characters. So it's just perfect, if you know what I mean. He's now basically stalking Xander. Xander, the thief, doesn't see the masked killer. There's a few continuity errors in this, there's a scene where the weather changes dramatically. It's been dry and cloudy, and then it's chucking down with rain. It was Kristen's idea to get a high angle shot of Xander basically walking towards my dead body, instead of just having a shot on the ground. It was actually perfect to sort of show everything, and the sound effects in this are actually pretty good. You've got movie ending sound effect, music. You've got all the sounds from the actual clips here, but you can tell I've actually not used any of these from the actual video because it just sounds really windy and distorted, and it was quite hard to film any dialogue, so I had to ask my friends to do a voiceover. I wanted to cancel and reschedule, but we're no, we need to just get it done because when are we gonna have any more time to do it? Some of these shots were improvised as well. Him limping his leg. I love this shot here because you've got the rock at the front and you've got him in focus. I just love that, and the background looks so gritty and dirty and got a colour board here. I'm not going to go into detail. If you guys want videos where I'm talking about colour grading and really how I edit my videos, then leave a comment down below, which is basically before and after. Basically makes it look darker. So yeah, that's before and that's with. I love handheld shots, I will admit. Some of it wasn't very steady. This shot here, there was actually a shot where it was very, very shaky, and it just wasn't like this bit here. I was zooming in and Xander wasn't even in shot. So, and bearing in mind I was crossing the road at the same time. Yeah, this wide shot, close up shot, and it cuts back to a wide shot here. It's the bump into each other, clothing movement, street ambience, cars, and this bit here. Obviously, the weather changing this. Look at this, the rain, and then you've got dry, cloudy, sunny. And yeah, I had an idea to get a little poster, basically giving Xander directions to where he should go next. Originally, I was going to have Xander to be interrogated by Dylan. Now, I do have all the original clips from that, when Xander was walking around this corner, and he bumped into, when he was walking around this corner, he bumped into Dylan, but I decided just to cut it out and reshoot it, because I didn't have time, and no offence to Dylan, but we couldn't really get hold of him, so I had to just Xander's kneeling over, he's seen this little poster. Body was found in the Peak District, ongoing mass killer reported to be on site. So yeah, this mass killer has now been on a little killing spree, basically, in the Peak District, which I love the idea about, because I've seen stories on YouTube, I watch videos on YouTube of Yorkshire Ripper and all these killers that are going out in these massive open field, rock hilly areas, which is really dark and gory, but really interesting. I really wanted to make sure the audience had enough time to read it and really take in information, picking it up, and then the consistency from this shot to this one here, of him actually having it in his hand, are really good with like matching clips. Like if I film a shot of someone picking something up, I'll film a close-up shot of them doing it, and I'll have another wide shot, and somehow they just work so well together because like I really nail it down to like each frame. So like, what should I do? And then he's decided, okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there, walk off. The camera's tilted as well. Shout out Christine King while he filmed this bit. He wanted the camera to be a little tilted, so it looks like something's gonna go wrong, something's bad's gonna happen, and it just gives that audience like a nervous sort of feeling, like, okay, why is the camera on edge? This means that, you know, something bad's gonna happen. Xander's also on edge because he's just come out of the factory. I wanted the camera to follow Xander. I didn't want it to just be, you know, handheld. I mean, I didn't want it to just be on a tripod still. Reveal sound effect. So basically that's a reveal sound effect. It's like a build up to when we see the masked killer. Xander's like, oh my god. I wish I filmed more of like the masked killer. I should have had, basically the masked killer I think I should have had more screen time, more time actually him arriving at the Peak District. But like I feel like a masked killer, a killer that doesn't really speak, a minute of that might get a bit boring. So I just wanted to sort of like cut to the chase. But yeah, then we've got the shots here, back to back of him revealing he's got the knife. Plastic knife, by the way, obviously. But I want the sound effects to make it sound like it's real. I like this pose he's doing. Kristen's like improvisation with characters is really good. He can get into character really, really well. And Xander's like, I really had to direct Xander like what I wanted him to do. So yeah, I've got a scene here, Max. I've got these tracks here are actually just his voiceovers. I'll put some effects on there as well, put like compressor just to make quiet bits sound louder and then the louder bits just sound even. But I think I actually forgot to add the gun sound effects, but we've got a little dialogue scene here as well saying freeze. I wanted some close-ups of this, but I think we just ran out of time. And I've got a nice little shot here, like a nice little reveal. Really good. The speed, the pan on this is top notch. I do say so myself. It walks off, self-explanatory. Again, we've still got the strong wind sound effect. Got music here as well after he strangles the officer. In a film like this, didn't want to have a stab because you can't actually put the knife in unless I got a retractable knife, which would have been really cool. This shot's really good. It reveals Xander, the thief. Now Xander's not got a name in this. We all know him as the thief, but now he's like sort of turned into a good guy, but I don't really know. Need to figure out that. But then he comes around here, picks up the gun that Max dropped, that Max was going to use to shoot the killer but was unsuccessful. So a lot of like unsuccessful things in this film, but it all makes sense because it all builds up to the end. Yeah, picks up the gun, again, under his mouth, breathing sound effects, which I think were pretty good. And then he picks up the gun, he then realises that he now has a responsibility to now kill an out, because he's already seen the masked killer, and he knows the officer here is innocent because he was trying to save the day. Clothing movements, these sounds here are all like, I think these are all knife, like arm swing, because he got an arm swing and then got a knife sound. Because in a real life situation, you have someone who's like getting hurt and you have someone watching it, you know, you have like, and then like, you know, you want to cut between them both, you want to see both sides. So I've got a little fight scene here, it's like teasing you, it's like, I'm going to give you a little bit, and then we've got Max waking up, so it's like, it keeps it going, it keeps the suspense rolling. And it cuts to Max waking up. Now this shot here, really, really, really good. This was like, Chris and Xander were just playing around on the top of the hill here, messing around, having fun. But somehow it worked really well. And when Christine goes around and tries to stab Xander, the thief. So we got like Max's reaction, but this shot wasn't planned at all. It was just like what I filmed like randomly on the day. They're trying to shoot the masked killer. And then we got the masked killer trying to stab him. And then we've got Max waking up, it's getting intense, gun drop on the floor, got wind, all these other sound effects that really do help. I should have got some more intense close-up shots of like Xander actually being in that enclosed, like trapped space. You know, he's coming up here trying to save the dead. The knife just fell out of the masked killer's hand, he's coming around, stabs him. Yeah, this is a stab sound. This stab sound is probably my favourite sound because it just works really well and it's really in time with it. That's another thing, it's really in time. Clothing movement sound effects, it's like wind, your clothes move around your jacket, you can hear it. Dramatic trailer music, so as soon as you get stabbed, this music here comes straight in, and then, yeah. Then got slow motion, which basically emphasises the moment of like, finally victory, but like, still keeps that horror thriller vibe. I wish I shot this scene again, because there was one basically when Max gets the phone, he's basically saying, we've got them. This shot here of Xander waking up and getting up. I don't know why I told Xander to do that. I didn't want him to do that originally because that's like, it didn't work very well. I basically wanted him to just like die in the film. Because it's like two different, I basically used 2 shots for one scene. That's just cut to here. This clip isn't part of this clip. It's a different number, it's a different clip. But I wanted it to make, I basically wanted it to match. So yeah, it cuts to this. He's looking over the body, even though this was like a lot earlier in the day. And he walks this way, but actually he was going to walk this way. But that pause then he did, that was too long and it felt a bit awkward. No offense to Max. So I just cut straight to this other clip that I had. Yeah, it's just music in this bit at the end here. Music, all different sound effects. I experimented with like drone sounds. Got a little voiceover here, Christian did. I asked him to do this twice because we were going to have Reese in this film, but things didn't really work out and unfortunately we couldn't do that. So we got outro credits and we've got a little like post-credit scene at the end here, basically teasing what could come next, potentially. Or maybe it reveals a different side that we've never seen before. Walking in the woods sound effects, sounds from the actual video itself, room ambience. This room ambience sound of an empty room really helped sell the effect of him being in this little garden shed outside. And obviously this clip isn't mine. This is stock footage from Pexel videos, which is pretty good. Originally these clips here were all really, really dark and like you couldn't see a thing, but obviously some colour grading, I did manage to adjust the exposure. This scene here should have been a lot quicker, a lot shorter, maybe some more dramatic music, just to sort of like, obviously yeah, keep it short and sweet, but also make it more dramatic. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this overall. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a long ride, to say the least. It's been a long ride. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. Peace.